Alright, I'm waiting for Brittany and her friend. We're about to go to an event that is going to be promoting their new IPA beer. Actually, I have no idea what it is, but we're here, we're out, we're having some fun. It's Wednesday night right now, and you know, I gotta get out of the house and I gotta do some fun. So we're gonna check this out, see how it is. It's pretty cool. If you have this app called Circus, S-U-R-K-U-S, you can use that app to go to events. They invite you to special events. This is not an advertisement, just letting you know. I use this app in Los Angeles. If you live in any big city, they should have it there where the events that are happening in the city you'll get invited to, and you get to go to more and more cool events if you end up showing a good attendance rate. Check it out, Circus. So I wasn't allowed to bring my camera in because it's like a big DSLR camera, so I took some footage of the place that I was at with Brittany and her friend with actually Brittany's phone, because she has a lot nicer of a camera than I do. And we just left. She's actually over here.
Hi.
And one thing I was thinking about, it can be really difficult for guys who are shy to be able to feel comfortable in very intense environments. And we weren't in a very intense environment tonight, but I think it's kind of all relative. You know, a guy who is very shy, very reserved, might see the place that we were at tonight as very intense and very overwhelming. So it can be much more difficult to be able to socialize and meet people in an atmosphere like this. And so I want to give you a couple of tips that can help you out. So one of the things you have to remember is when you walk into an environment that's really intense, whether it's a club, a bar, a party, any kind of social atmosphere, you know, the feelings that you're getting in terms of feeling a little bit more reserved, a little bit more scared, a little bit more self-conscious. You know, you're reflecting a lot on how you're acting, how you're looking, how you're talking. I want you to remember that other people, guys and girls, are feeling the exact same way as you. And I don't think that we really think about that as much. I think we are so stuck in our heads that we don't really think about what other people are thinking. And, you know, don't forget that you are alongside other humans. So other people are going to be self-conscious, they're going to be shy, they're going to be thinking about themselves. So don't just go into an environment like this and think that every single person is looking at you and focusing only on you, because a lot of us are doing the same thing. We're thinking about ourselves, focusing on ourselves, and not all of the attention is on you where you may think it is when you walk into an environment like this. Another tip I want to give you is if you're going into an environment that's really intense and you get really overwhelmed, and you think like, oh, like how am I going to talk to anyone? How am I going to start to socialize? Focus on one goal at a time. So if I were you and you were to go into an environment that's overwhelming, just think about one person you can talk to, one conversation you can have, instead of thinking that, oh, well, you're going to have to go and you're going to have to socialize with the whole party. You don't have to do that. You're going to have multiple opportunities to be able to go out and meet people. So think about maybe one person that you can talk to, and if you can do that by the end of the night, then you have succeeded. Just came into Mel's Diner, having a little after event snack because we're hungry. All right, another tip I want to give you for social anxiety, if you're feeling anxious or nervous when you're in a heavy social environment, is the longer that you take to start a conversation with someone, the harder it's going to get. It's going to get exponentially harder. That's what happens when you walk into a place and you fear going up and having a conversation with someone. Every minute that goes by, it gets harder and harder and harder and harder. And if you haven't talked to anyone in 15 minutes, it's going to be the hardest it's ever going to be. So my tip to you is the second you enter a venue where you want to socialize, where you want to meet a girl, you need to go up and start talking to literally anyone as soon as possible. Doesn't matter if it's the bouncer. Thank you very much. It doesn't matter if it's even the friend next to you, but ideally it's a stranger. Anyone you can, start a conversation right away, because that is going to loosen up the social muscles. That's what needs to happen, right? It's like warming up before you go to work out. You need to warm up here too. So as fast as you can, get into conversation with anyone. Brittany just said something very interesting, because we've been having a conversation here while we're eating our food, talking about social anxiety and things like that. And she's been talking with her therapist, and she's been talking about the fact that when you feel anxiety, when you feel an uncomfortable feeling or a negative emotion, you say thank you. Because what we try to do is we try to resist the bad feelings And what happens when you resist negative feelings is that you end up actually bringing them more to the surface and compounding that feeling. So in order to try to get rid of a negative emotion, because that's what you're trying to do, instead of trying to get rid of it, accept it and feel it. So stay mindful. Feel it, be in the moment of what it feels like, accept it, and even say to yourself and to the emotion, thank you. Thank it for it coming up and telling you something that's important. The more and more that you try to resist the feelings that are coming up, the harder it's going to be. So experience it and make it part of you and just flow through it instead of against it.